So, welcome on board everybody on this very fresh episode of Pharoscion Global promoting and supporting vocal for local Atmanirbhar Bharat as well as Startup India campaigns started by Union Government of India. Today, I have a women entrepreneur with myself. She's the founder of Plastgen Solution and doing some, commendable job in a particular genre. We shall be discussing a lot about, her journey, her business, and, like how the business is actually positively impacting the society as well. So, welcome on board, Jayashree, and she's from Chennai. So, it's the very first interview we are having, particularly from Tamil Nadu. So, I'm very excited for that as well. How are you?
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. This is Jayashree Mohandass. I'm very happy to meet you all, and I'm happy to know that I'm the first woman entrepreneur from Chennai. I'm so much obliged, and I'm the founder and CEO of Plastgen Solutions. So basically, I'm a bioentrepreneur, a startup entrepreneur in the field of biotechnology. And other than that, we also have a Japanese school called the Sakura Gakko Japanese School. So where we train students in Japanese language in both schools and colleges. I'm very, very happy to be with you in Pharoscion Global. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine and of the team as well. So let's begin with, and understand what's the background story of, Plastgen Solution. Because first of all, the name itself is quite unique and I'm very excited, to hear what had made sure that, you come into this venture.
Yeah, actually the background story is, so mostly I'm very much interested in oncology from my college days. So what the main thing is, there are certain microorganisms, if you see, there is marine microorganisms which produces anti-cancer agents. So I was more interested in working on those anti-cancer agents. So that's why I started Plastgen Solutions, the company. And even now we are doing research in those anti-cancer agents, microorganisms, by having tie-up with and collaboration with some companies. So that is how we started the Plastgen Solutions. And slowly we started doing onco injectables and then tablets, capsules and everything. But as of now, we are mostly focused on onco injectable section only.
Okay. Understood. So, for my enlightenment, and I'm quite sure that viewers would really like to know. So what are your main services? And, like if by chance you provide free consultation for people like us as well, how is the story about that? Can I come there and, get a free consultation? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, free consultation, we don't do anything like that. The main services, as I told, we are mostly focused on oncology only. So as of now, we are working on onco injectables. Previously, we were working on tablets and capsules, but now onco injectables is a very huge market in both India as well as in abroad. So we are mostly focused on that particular section only. And what we are planning to do in future is, as I told you, there are certain microorganisms which produces anti-cancer agents, and I started the company only for that. So our main aim of this Plastgen solution is to genetically engineer these microorganisms to produce more anti-cancer agents, so that we will get more anti-cancer drugs in future. So that is how we work, and we don't do any free consultation.
I understand. But the cause is very noble, I must say. Like cancer is something which is actually causing a lot of lives, and it's really good to hear that, from microorganisms, something like this can be developed to fight them.
Yeah.
So, let's take it ahead now, Jayashree. So how do you really ensure, that your research actually generates the best result possible? Because we are, like, your business particularly is directly associated with lives of people. So how do you make sure that, the research is pretty well and the result is always tends to be in favor of, saving lives and treating cancer?
Yeah, actually, to ensure the best result, as of now, we do only the marketing part of the injectables. So in that part, if you see, to ensure the best result, what we do is we have to mostly console the doctors, that we have to convince the doctors that our product is really good. So they will ask for the safety data, how efficacy, have you done efficacy studies for that particular product, for the particular onco injectable, and then have you done clinical trials for all that. So that is the main thing which we will be focusing on, the PDR data, that is product development data, and 6-month stability studies. So those things we should be giving to the oncologist, and we should be convincing them. So that is the most important thing which we do to ensure that we are giving the best result.
Okay, that's good to hear. And what's the most crucial business aspect of pharmacist's life as well? I'm quite sure that, people who are in similar studies or in similar field will be interested to know. For you, what's the most crucial business aspect of it?
Yeah, actually, if you divide it into two parts, in pharmacist life is one is, for example, if you are dealing with oncology products, mostly you will be working on B2C. That is, you will be directly speaking with the doctors,
Yeah.
convincing them, and you have to convince them a knowledge-based approach and technology-based approach. That's what we are doing in our company. Like we convince the doctor by knowledge-based approach, and we have iPad, and through that we will be giving them how good our product is. We'll be teaching the doctors and other things. So that's how we do. That is one part. And another thing is, if you are dealing with normal antibiotics and generics, then you have to be convincing the medical shop owners and other people. So it can be divided into two parts. For oncology, it's generally B2C, and for other pharmacy business, it's generally B2B.
Okay. That's really good to hear. Now, this was actually a quick one on the pharmacy business which you are into. Now let's shift on the Japanese school, because that's very interesting as well. You are currently running a Japanese school as well. So tell us more about it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, our Japanese school name is Sakura Gakko Japanese School. So basically, I'm passionate about foreign languages. So that's why I studied Japanese, and I know Chinese as well. After studying Japanese, I thought I can teach students also. So I slowly started taking classes in corporates, colleges, and we made it as an entity like a Japanese school. So now we have separate programs for people in corporates, and we have separate programs for people in colleges as well. So that is the background of the Japanese school. And other than that, there are students who are asking other foreign languages such as French, German, etc. So we are providing services with them. Basically, it's a Japanese school, but still we do other foreign language services also on need basis.
Okay. So what does that really mean? Sakura Jako. What does it really mean?
Sakura is the flower in Japan. Actually, it's a very famous flower. It's a pinkish flower. It's, if you go all over the roads of Japan, you can see that flower. So that is how the Sakura name has come. And Gakko means it's a school in Japanese, basically.
Okay.
So I have joined both and made it as a Sakura Gakko Japanese school.
Okay. That's really good. And if I have to say, Jayashree, you are awesome, how would I say in Japanese?
Anata was to go with this.
Okay, I will be really needing a couple of classes to repeat what we have just said. For our okay, is it simple? Okay.
Sugoi.
Okay, sugoi. Okay, awesome means sugoi, is it?
Sugoi, awesome, excellent.
Okay.
Superb.
Yeah, fantastic to hear. So what are the different curricular activities, if any, obviously, you provide in your school, and how does the curriculum goes? Let's say if I am interested to be a part of it and I would really like to learn Japanese or Chinese, so how does it go?
Yeah, actually, for Chinese, we don't take classes in schools or colleges. We only focus on corporates. Okay. For Japanese, we have separate curriculum for colleges. So in that, what we do is we do an integrated program along with the college studies as well. So the students along with the college studies, they will be learning 2-year integrated Japanese program where they will be finishing 2 levels to 3 levels depending upon the capability of the students. So minimum we teach them 2 levels, which is required to place them in MNCs. Okay. So that's how it goes. If they have finished, if they have completed 3 levels, we are even placing them in Tokyo, Japan itself. We have certain consultancies there, there. So through that, we will place the creamy candidates to Japan.
So if I want to go to Japan, I can come, to your Japanese school and just have to clear level 3, and then I'll be placed in Tokyo. Am I sounding it correct?
Yeah, definitely you can. Suppose if you have certain skills in IT, if you are a BTech IT person.
Yeah. I'm a computer science engineer from JNTU University, Hyderabad. So yeah. I see a better scope now of me traveling to Japan with the Japanese language skills as well.
Yeah. Definitely have a very good scope, and that too, the scope is more for full stack developers and for people who are in CRM. So for those people, the scope is really very good. Along with Japanese, the pay package will be somewhere around 3 lakhs from the starting itself.
Okay.
3 lakh yen.
That's really good to hear. So, what do you feel, let's say, is an adequate measure of student success, within the class or maybe post class? So what is that benchmark which you guys have set?
Okay. So actually, if you see in students, we can divide it into two categories. Like certain students are fast learners and certain students are slow learners.
Yeah.
So we generally divide the students into two categories. So for fast learners, we ensure that they learn the whatever concepts they are teaching, they learn it very fast and they learn it in depth. For slow learners, we ensure that they're learning it in an easy way by showing the flashcards and other things. So the main, so generally we divide into two batches and we ensure based upon the capacity of the students. So for certain people, it should be like that we to have learned something that itself will make them so happy. But for people who are already very skilled in Japanese language, we ensure that they have gone so deep into the language and learn much more from our classes and curriculum.
Okay, that's good to know. So, I'm quite sure that the age group varies in learning a language as well. So how do you build a positive culture in your current school? Because I feel that is very important as well in learnability as well as in maintaining that decorum too. So what is the secret recipe here?
Yeah, actually, there is no secret recipe. The main thing is we have to keep the student engaged. So generally, we don't take it as a study way of learning. We used to do a lot of flashcard method. So that if you see Japanese, it's mostly based on it is like if you see it will be like a drawing. Generally, people say it's like a drawing. I couldn't understand Japanese letters or something. So in order to make it. Yeah.
No offense to Japanese. No offense to Japanese. That's how few Indians feel. Yeah.
Yeah, they say it's like a drawing, but how will you learn and how will you teach them? So we generally use stories. So there is a story for each and every letter, how it came, the origin of that particular letter. If you see the character of the woman in Japanese, it actually looks like a woman. From the beginning, if you take the story, it's actually a woman sitting and then slowly change and become like a woman kanji. So that's how it goes. For each and every letter, there is a story behind it. We explain it with interesting stories, with flashcards, and we also conduct regular quiz. So to ensure the students are very much engaged and small gifts for people who have won that. So like that, we keep the positive culture in the schools and colleges.
That's
and we
really
also
good.
And we also give regular appreciation certificates, small token of gifts and other things.
Okay. And, like for the future, let's say. Yeah. So for the future, are you planning to implement some add-ons to it? I got to know about, you just spoke, flashcards and interactive sessions and all. So any plans for future too that, okay, these things are also coming in our school for our upcoming students? Anything like this?
Yeah, actually, we are planning to develop an app for Japanese for easy learning, for easy learning purpose, that students can learn the language very easily. Any kid can learn the Japanese language very easily. So that is how we are planning in future in case of Japanese. And if you see in case of Plastgen Solution, that is the pharma business, our future plans is to go global. Now we have got tie-up with a few people in Latin America, particularly Venezuela, Bolivia, and then in West Africa and in UAE markets. So we are planning to enter into those markets where the future is really good. So that is what the plans in Plastgen Solutions.
Okay, fantastic to hear. Now I have a very interesting question for you. And let's say now you are same 18 years old Jayashree. Yeah, and now the current Jayashree is speaking to that 18-year-old Jayashree. What piece of advice or how many, I should say, what all advices would you like to give to your, younger Jayashree?
Yeah, first thing I say is you identify what's the purpose of life or identify what's your goal in life. Yeah. And second is stick to your goals and never mind your goals are getting distracted by anything or anyone in your life. So you should always stick to your goals. That is the second point. And third thing is every day you should ensure that you are moving towards your goals and put efforts for that to reaching your goals. So that's the thing. You should not mind what happens in your environment, who is coming into your life, who goes out. So never mind about anything. Your goal should be only on one particular thing. Your goal and focus should be on one particular thing which you really want in life.
Right. So true. And, I have a very quick question particularly, and that's like, entrepreneur's life, like current, if you see, across the globe, there is a wave of entrepreneurship and people are starting up. So the challenges which one faces, would you like to talk about that as well? Or the challenges which you have faced particularly, which you believe that, it was really hard to overcome, but somehow I have overcome. So would you like to talk about those challenges as well, so that it helps our viewers to understand the journey more better and be prepared for such challenges?
The challenges actually, we shouldn't start the business for the purpose of funding. That is the one important thing which I can tell startup entrepreneurs. So first, we should more focus more on building the product, and then we are building it. We are building a business only for the people. So people should like it. You should keep people first, and then funding next. Okay. So even if 10 people like your product, then it's fine. Then you should focus on 100 people. So once 100 people started liking your product, then only you should start focusing on funding. So that is the one important thing which I missed in initial days of my entrepreneurship, and that is what I like to advise to others.
Good to hear, and I'm quite sure that viewers will be able to relate to it and will take into consideration. So, any thoughts about the campaigns which are currently running? Let's say the campaigns which were started by Union Government of India as well, and what do you really see? Like how does or how people are really taking the whole concept of startups in the country at the moment? What is your take on it?
Yeah, if you see, in case of startup, if you see a lot of startups come in each and every state, there are startup entrepreneurs. So the main thing you have to take into consideration is your product should be very unique. So that is what you have to take into consideration, and then you have to build something which the product which has a lot of entry barriers, so that others can't enter into your particular business easily. So that is the next point which you have to take into consideration when building the business.
That is a really, I feel that one of the greatest advice I've ever heard in the recent past. And my very last question gonna be, your take on the type of work which we are doing as a Pharoscion. Like we are transforming businesses digitally through IT solutions, cloud-based, ISO ready, obviously, and then into marketing and branding too. So for companies like us, what will be your 2 cents of advice, or what is your belief about how these companies like us obviously are transforming businesses?
Yeah, actually, Pharoscion Global really are doing a very good. It's a very good company actually, as they came to know, because we are connecting the entrepreneurs with the VCs, which is very much important for any entrepreneur's life. And you are bringing startup entrepreneurs like me into limelight, because they thought that many people may not be knowing that people like us exist. So that is what is very much interesting in Pharoscion Global, and I don't have any advice to give you. I think so.
No, I'm always ready to take any any advice and then evaluate and research about it and accordingly take actions as well. But I really appreciate your positive words, and same will be conveyed to the company as well and to rest of the Pharoscions too. So any last couple of words which you'd like me or would like visitors to hear from you before we leave? You would like to talk about the company which you are running, about the Japanese school, or any discounts for the visitors? Let's say if they come to you that I've watched the video and would like to be part. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely we can give some referral bonuses or some referral discounts for people who have watched this video and come to us, and who are buying our products, and maybe even if it is for Japanese or if it is for injectables also, we can definitely help.
Perfect. That's fantastic.
And it's nice being with you in the show. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity.
Likewise, and I got to learn a couple of Japanese words as well, and I'll keep learning more from you, Jayashree. So thanks for that as well. And with that, that's really all from this episode, everybody. Like you are just a ping or a call away to learn Japanese. It's quite a fantastic language. There is no denial of it. And obviously, thanks Jayashree for the work which you are doing in the pharma industry as well. It's quite commendable. With that, we are good with this episode, and we shall see you all in the very next episode with a great entrepreneur. Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice day. Cheers.